Hello friends, again today I am before you with the studies question. We will discuss now that question and we'll try to see what can be the model answer for that question. Now if you remember, studies question was from philosophy of religion and the question reads, discuss Anselm's version of ontological argument. Is it logically sound? So this is the question which we are going to deal in about 300 words. We'll start. Can God's existence be proved by thought alone? St. Anselm of Canterbury's ontological argument presented in his book called Proslogion answers boldly in the affirmative. So basically, this again, we are starting with engaging and catchy opening or first line or introduction. So this kind of uh, a beginning of the answer can be tried in a few answers, at least in real exam. So this is going to attract examiner's attention immediately and may fetch a little better marks. So St. Anselm's Canterbury's ontological argument is basically based on, can God's existence be proved by thought alone? Now, without relying on scripture or empirical observation, Anselm attempts to demonstrate God's existence a priori through logic alone. So this is what ontological argument is basically in a sense. Now let us further describe it. Anselm defines God as that than which nothing greater can be conceived. So this is his definition of God. So then he says further, even the atheist holds this concept in his understanding that God should be something greater than which nothing can be conceived. But a being that exists both in mind and reality is greater than one that exists only in mind. So this is again his logic, that a being that exists both in mind and reality is greater than one that exists only in mind. So if God existed only as an idea, a greater being could have been conceived, that a being which exists in idea as well as in reality. So therefore God exists. So that is his basically conclusion. Thus God must exist in reality. Anselm maintains that God possesses necessary existence, unlike contingent beings. Descartes later endorsed a similar argument in fifth meditation. Descartes was another philosopher who uh, basically supported ontological argument, and his book called Fifth Meditation, he further supported this, identifying existence as a perfection inseparable from supremely perfect being. So that was Descartes' idea, and he told that existence is basically required for a being to be perfect. Yet, the argument's logical validity has long been contested. There have been severe criticism of this argument as well. And in St. Anselm's time, contemporary itself, there was a monk, Gonilo. He offered a famous counterexample, the perfect island. If Anselm's logic is held, one could prove the existence of any idealized object. Anselm respond. So basically, what Gonilo said, that just like God, we can assume that there is a perfect island, and for being it perfect, it should exist in reality as well as in idea, and therefore it should exist. But we know pretty well that perfect island does not exist. So that there is a contradiction in terms. So therefore, this logic itself is not very, very strong. And then he said that any perfect object existence can be proved through this, this argument. So that was his counter argument for Anselm. But Anselm said, there was again counter reply to this argument by Anselm. Anselm responded that only a being with necessary existence, such as God, escapes this criticism. That was Anselm's thought. Now, most enduring critique comes from Immanuel Kant. In his book called Critique of Pure Reason, he argued that existence cannot be used as a predicate of any object, because it cannot be a quality of an object. First, something has to exist, and then only some qualities can be added. So, existence cannot be a predicate or quality of an object. It adds nothing to the concept of a thing. That was Kant's criticism and severe criticism. David Hume, Bertrand Russell, and G. E. Moore also rejected the argument's leap from definition to existence. Same thing, it cannot be, existence cannot be a quality or predicate of any object. So this was these thinkers' view also. In conclusion, Anselm's argument remains a landmark in philosophical theology. Definitely, it's elegant, provocative, and deeply influential. Though modern consensus questions its soundness, they don't believe in this. It continues to stir debate at the intersection of logic, language, and metaphysics. Obviously, it does, challenging us to ask, can reason alone summon reality into being? Because still this question is asked in philosophy. So therefore, this is very, very important contribution from Anselm. It started in Anselm and then continues through Descartes till now. Now this completes the model answer for this. Now let us see what question we will take up tomorrow. Now tomorrow's question will be obviously from socio-political philosophy. The question will be, can justice be ensured without distributive mechanisms like welfare schemes? This is the question. Can justice be ensured without distributive mechanisms like welfare schemes? And as I keep on telling, socio-political philosophy questions will be answering. First, general, definitely answer has to be there. And then Indian references also have to be brought in. Maybe constitutional provisions, maybe present schemes, maybe Supreme Court cases. So all those things need to be mentioned. So that also we'll see tomorrow. So the question is, can justice be ensured without distributive mechanisms like welfare schemes? So this question we will take up for answer tomorrow. Thanks a lot for watching today's video. We'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you one and all.